Hello. So today, we're going to be exploring PDFs. Um, yeah. So PDFs, even though they look very, they look like something that's like too binary, but it's actually not that binary. So like, I I like to think of PDFs as a programming language. Um, So what we do is, so you know what, let's download this PDF, and we are going to like do an hex dump, and we'll see what it looks like. So if we do hex dump, you would see that there is like a lot of ASCII in here. Almost everything is ASCII. Only some few binary objects, and those are for fonts, right? So what we can do is we can open that file with Vim and see a lot of text. Yeah. So this is what PDF looks like. Just bunch of objects. Yeah, I'll come back to what object means later, but just this just this bunch of text, and I like to think of it as a programming language, right? So this is I want us to use a simpler PDF file that doesn't have any like binary data that much in it, right? So so PDF files, this is what they look like, and the first thing in the PDF files is the header, right? They have this yeah, some that they have this, people like to call it the magic number, but yeah, it's the header. And yeah, so you put in percent sign PDF and the version, right? And next you'd have all this. So what are these? They call them objects, right? So PDFs consist of the header and bunch of objects, then the trailer. And this is what the trailer is. Right. So that is a good resource, a very good resource that I use to understand PDF is the succinctly PDF succinctly by Syncfusion. I'm going to put it in the description. So, but basically, just like I said, you need to have the header, then there is the body, and after the body, there is the trailer. So, the header we have seen is just this, followed by a bunch of binary, and binary can be anything, right? And you have all the objects. So, what is an object in PDF? So, an object is it starts with two numbers and the obj keyword, and it ends with the end obj keyword. So, and in between this, you need to create a dictionary. So, this is why I called PDF a programming language, because basically just has its own syntax. So, but yeah, so like before PDFs was a thing, I think most people had there was like different formats, but I think a very popular one was PostScript by Adobe, and also PDF was from Adobe, right? It's like for some of this history, I think they are on the Wikipedia page. You can also find them on the PDF Wikipedia page. Cool. So yeah, so this is what a dictionary looks like. A dictionary starts with this and closes with this, right? Then these are the keys and the values, right? Keys, values, keys, values. So now this PDF, this particular PDF, um, I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open it up in, yep, let me open it up. Cool. So this PDF is just an Hello World PDF. So now let's try to reverse engineer what we are reading. Right? So I said um this is a dictionary and it has the keys and values, right? So the first object we found in the PDF is it has a type. So almost all, if not all dictionaries always have this type. Then it specifies the type. So it has a type of pages and it says count one. So that means this PDF has only one page, right? So if we wanted to, for example, if we downloaded another PDF, like a test PDF online that has more than one page, for example, yeah, this is a 10 PDF. This is a 10-page PDF. So let's see what this would say. Yeah, so you can see it has pages. It has we're looking for type pages here. So you can see this guy, type pages, and the count is 10. So this PDF has 10 pages, which is what is also here, right? So basically, this is how the browser, any PDF viewer as you use, they pass all this syntax and get everything they need, right? It's just like a programming language of its own. That's the beauty of this, right? So you can, for example, build your own printer if you are into hardware and just look for a parser that can parse all this syntax. And if there is no parser, you have to build your own parser. And we are going to do that in like some coming videos, maybe. But basically, the point of this series is so we can build a PDF library like something like a PDF kit in JavaScript and just see how it works internally. Sometimes it's good to know how these things work internally. You know what I'm saying, right? Okay, so now back to this file. So now the first object says we have a file with one page and the next object 20. So basically this means this first two number means the object number and zero is always zero. Most times it's always zero. So it just means the generation number. Yeah, generation number, right? So the second object is a page. So this is the first page. It says the type is page, and they always have this indirect reference to who is pointing to them. So it says his parent is this guy, and this guy is also pointing to the second object, right? It says my children are the second object. So 20R means referencing object 20, right? So now I'm referencing object 10 as my parents, and so it says this page has the following contents: objects 4 and the resources are in object 3. So also another attribute of this object is the media box. So media box basically means the size of the PDF. So if it's going to be 612 by 792 inches, points rather, the size of this page. If we change this, the PDF is going to be a different way, right? And we can also like test that out soon, coming soon. But let's complete our analysis of this PDF, right? Okay, so the next object, which is what the page is pointing to, is the resources, right? So and basically this is saying, hey, this resource, the only resource this page has is a font, and we are referencing the Times Italic font. So On the PDF standard, there are like about 6 fonts, I believe, that's like all PDF viewers must have built in. So we can see that in this yep, in the succinctly PDF documentation. Yeah, so it's 14. So there are 14 standard fonts that all PDF viewers must support, right? So that's what the resources is. And the content of the page is object 4. And object 4 just says it has a length of 61. So basically, an object, while it contains a dictionary, it can also contain strings. So streams begins with stream and end stream, right? So, but basically, what it means is like stream allows you to run. I'll call it functions, but like PDF calls it the PDF standard calls it operators. So, yeah. So, for example, CM is an operator that takes all these arguments and does something. So, and also there is the BT and ET, which basically means begin text and end text operator. And in the begin text and end text operator, you can also run another PDF function, TJTF. So basically all the PDF text functions. So if we go to succinctly text operators, we'd see a lot of those functions. So we have the TJ, which basically just prints text onto the page, right? And we have the TD, we have the TF to set the font. So basically, and that will happen here. So this sends TF took in these two arguments, the font, which was here, F0, and 36, which is the size of the text. So, and the second function, second operator, took in this argument, which is hello world. So in PDF, you know how in other programming languages like Node, like JavaScript, Python, and the rest, if you want to create a string, you would do this, right? In PDF, it is a strings are wrapped in this, right? So PDF is actually it's very fun, right? It's very fun. So yeah, so and that is what the page object looks like. So then we have this last object, object 5, which calls itself a catalog, but there is nothing pointing to it, right? So that's where the neat trick of PDF comes in. You know how we're going through this from top to bottom? That's actually not how PDF readers do it. So PDF readers, they always go from bottom up. So they find the last, they go to the end of the file, they look for this signature and they take this number and jump to this place. So basically, these funny looking things all the way up here are called the cross-reference table. And what the cross-reference table is basically all the objects in the PDF and their offsets in bytes in the file. So, and it's in order, right? So for example, this is object 1, this is object 2, this is object 3, 4, and 5. And also what you see here is it says 0, 6. So it says there's 5 plus 1 object. So like if there is 5 objects in the PDF, this is going to be 6. If there is 10 objects in the PDF, this is going to be 11, right? So, and the first is always, we don't need this. It's just, we don't care about it. Okay. So whenever the PDF viewer opens the file, like with whatever program language, they find the signature, they find the number before the signature or the number after the start xref, and they jump to that offset, so byte 445 in the file, which is going to give them this x. So they start from here and they pass all the way to trailer. So they pass all this and they can now access they can easily jump to any object. So, for example, this says byte 15. So I can just jump to byte 15 and I will be landed here, right? So that's just how PDF works, right? Okay, so let's assume I'm a PDF viewer. What do I do? So now that I've opened the file, I look for this cross-reference table. I see all this jumble. I ignore this. Then after I ignore this, I just look for the trailer. So the beauty of the trailer is the trailer tells you the object to go to. Like it tells you that that's the root. And basically root means the catalog. And as you can see, it is referencing object 5, which is this, which is the PDF's catalog. So the catalog basically tells us, like, it's like the entry point to the PDF to tell us where we need to go next. So I'm a PDF reader. I find this trailer. I follow this route. I jump to object 5. So, but how do I know where object 5 is? I have to look into the cross-reference table, right? And go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I jump to byte 395. Bam, I'm here. I read this object. I say, okay, this is the catalog, right? And it says, hey, are you looking for the pages, the amount of pages or wherever the pages are in this file? It says, yes, it's at object 1. Jump to object 1. So I go back to the cross-reference table and find the first object, which is this guy. Oh, byte 15. I jump to the top. I say, okay, I'm now at byte 15. Let's read this. Okay, now this is pages. This is what I want. And it tells me, oh, there's one page in the file. Good. So now I said, okay, if I want to read that one page, what do I do? I check the kids array, and it says these are all my children or all the pages in the PDF. And in this case, it's only one. So I say, oh, that's the page. So I jump to that object, and it says, and I confirm that it's a type page, and I say, yep. So, and before I can jump here, I need to go to the cross reference table again to know what bytes to jump to, right? So, yep. So, and I check for the contents, which is basically the text magic that we saw here. That does that. So that's how PDF works. Like it's actually just very simple, not very complex. Like obviously, this is like a basic PDF. PDFs with images are a bit more complex than this, but to learn the complex things, you have to know it on a simpler level first, or on a simplified level first. So um, I'll be back. We are going to build a function or a library, or just a function. We're going to write a function that is going to let us convert text to PDFs, just for fun, right? To see how it works, and we're basically going to construct a PDF in JavaScript without using any library. Okay, so I'll be back.